Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's just really exciting to see it all come together. So I'm going to kick into my slide deck for the day, and and like I say, like, feel free to chat, put it in the chat, anything you're thinking about. All of this becomes the fuel that we can tell stories out of from the work that we're doing together. And I think it's really exciting evolutionary experiment that we're doing together. So thank you for coming and doing that. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and let's see. Slideshow. Okay, so here we are with our 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up. And this is the third session. So we're really starting to get our missions are firming up, and we're getting ready to start teaming together. So today I'm gonna kind of run you through where we've come from, and then we'll get ready for the next stage. So we've talked about what are the beliefs that source our work. And for me, it is the belief that every living thing has an equal role to play and right to be here and something to contribute. And so because I believe that, I try to empower every individual, every living thing to be its best self, so that the world that we live in together can be richer and full of possibility. So this is really the kind of framework that we've been using, sourcing for this work. And we know, like, living things are nested within larger systems. So, you are part of a family, part of a community, in a place. You depend on the other species in that place to make a living. In our today's world, we're getting materials from far away and other communities too. So we have to think about our systems in a much bigger way. So there's yourself, and there's the nature of you, and the nature of your place, and the nature of everything around you. And then there's the work you do in the world. And then there's the larger world that you work in. So if you're thinking like this, you can grow potential around you like a living thing does. It's not a machine. So that's where we're going to get into paradigm, and also really teasing apart our work so that we can really go to work in a focused way that's consistent and brings clarity to everything we do. And like John always says, starting from within, working in a circle in a sacred manner, we heal and develop ourselves and our relationships and the world. And that's really a living systems thinking perspective right there. Machines don't think like this. It's parts that get swapped out. But this is something that we're growing from a story, from a seed, from a source of, even a source of water that a community comes from, or a story that orients our understanding of the world. So here's what we've done. We've come to this place of, what is that deep premise that sources your work, and what would it look like to fully live it out? And you can vision into that of, what would it look like in 100 years if that was true? And in 10 years, and 1 year, and in the 99 days that we're doing together here. And please feel free to be writing in the chat as we go along, anything that is coming to you. And if you're doing this work on the fly, you're more than welcome to do that. So then think about that vision. What's standing in the way of it coming true? What's in the way of that? What are the big obstacles and what are the small obstacles for yourself, for your work, and in the larger world, in that sphere? And think about that. Here we have all this possibility and all these dreams, and it would be so good if we had these things, but what little things stand in the way of those visions? And the more specific and concrete you can get with that, the better we can go to work on it. So think hard into that, and really try to articulate it. And then the question is, what capabilities are we going to need to develop to get there? Because that's where you come in. How are we going to grow those capabilities, and what's your role in doing that? And so this process will help you really focus in on your work and in the world and your role. And then we're going to start teaming together, because we all have different roles, And we're all going to work together to make these larger things happen. So again, self, your work, and the world that you're in. And this is really sources, this other framework that is our statements, our purpose statements. So the self is your being, the nature of you. So you want to do this in a way that's true to your nature. And the will is your why. What do you want to see different in the world because of your work? And the function is the actual work that you do. So it's your why, your what, and your how. And that is that structure of, because I believe this, I'm going to do this very specific thing in a way that is true to my nature so that this thing happens in the world. And so that's the structure of that purpose statement that we want to construct for ourselves. Because then you have something to always cross-check your work. Is this in a way that, does this accomplish the thing? And does it connect to my why? So if you're always articulating in that way and thinking in that way, you're going to become much more powerful. Here's that triad. I call this the function being will triad. And this is from the Regenesis Institute, their frameworks. So it's very powerful. And here's how we articulate that. So I'd love to see you put yours in the chat. And then like John said, we'll start really functionalizing them. So we'll help you sharpen your pencil on this. So go for it.